I flopped, y'all. Help me recreate my LA Try Guy sweet potato pie crust. Hi, Adorners. So if you're watching this, I assume that you saw that I am recreating the pecan pie crust. You know, I did the LA Try Guy favorite. It was 20 chefs against 3 foodies versus 3 foodies, and the foodies were the judges. And I did a sweet potato pie. The filling was wonderful. Everyone loved the filling. Even his mom said to me how great the filling was, but the crust wasn't so good. So, and it was an experiment. And so now I'm going to try it again. So please come with me and watch and see how it does this time. So I am starting over with my pie crust. You know, did the LA Try Guy. My pie crust really defeated me in the competition, so I'm making it again. This is going to be more of a shortbread pecan pie crust to go with our sweet potato pie. And so I'm almost done with it, so keep watching. Okay, Adorners, so we have our ingredients, of course, to make our pie crust as well as the filling. All right, I'm using a small food processor to do this. And again, of course, I have my flour. I actually have some sugar, butter, a little bit of salt. And I am going to, as I said, I'm going to recreate my pie crust from the one that I created for LA Try Guy. Okay, there we go. Pie crust is done. I'm going to roll it out. Now, this pie crust, it turns out, it is actually like a shortbread, butter pecan tasting pie crust. I'm really excited about it. I haven't ever actually tasted anything like this before. I'm going to prick it and I'm going to cook it in the oven on 375 for about 10 minutes just to get it ready for our sweet potato pie filling. I'm really pleased with the way this came out. It smells like butter pecan, right? You know, I'm tanked on with the LA Try Guy with the crust, but I'm trying again. All right, so keep watching. I created it, and it's almost like having a Pepperidge Farm cookie. Okay, Donor, so I've rolled out our crust and I put it in a aluminum foil pan, and now you can see I'm just kind of pricking it a little bit to bake it. I have to do an egg wash on it to make it a nice and glossy pie crust. And I have it the oven on 375, and I'm going to bake this off for about 10 minutes. And just to get our pie shell ready for our filling, as you can see here, into the oven it goes. And now it's time to create our filling. I'm going to go ahead and cut and slice our sweet potatoes. If you've seen my videos before, you know I believe in slicing the potatoes so you don't have a stringy pie. It's very important. Sometimes people think they can skip this step, and they can, but I don't think you should. Okay, Donor, so I have our 2 large eggs. You know, we added our melted butter, 1 stick, and now it's time to blend this all up together. I had 2 batches, so I had to combine them with our seasoning, our spices. You know, we have our cinnamons and our nutmegs. It's very important. And so now into the pie shell it goes. Okay, Adorner, so I used a measuring cup, and I scooped out equal amounts of batter into, I had 2 pie crusts. This one I created on my own. As you can see, that's our butter pecan shortbread crust. And now we're going to bake it off for about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. These came out so beautifully, as you can see. I had the oven up 375, and I was supposed to turn it down, but I was talking. So I did turn it down in the last 20 minutes, so it didn't brown too much on the crust on the outside. But so I just had an extra crust, and I just tried to use the rest of the filling to make that. But I think it came out so beautifully. I let this sit for about 20 to 30 minutes before actually cutting into it, just so it can, you know, solidify a little bit more. And one thing I will say about these pies, if you wanted to make this ahead of time and freeze it and then let it thaw and bake it, the flavor and the seasonings, spices will be so wonderful in this. This pie is actually really great. This is something I have not done before. I'm so excited about it. You know, I do have my sweet potato pies up on Cottage Cakes. I'll link that in the description as well if you wanted to actually buy a pie from me in the Los Angeles area. But anyway, so I did end up cutting the pie. The crust was very crispy. The crust was very crispy. It's sweet, but not too sweet. As you can see, I'm going to go ahead and slice it here. All right, sliced up nicely. You can see the pecans in the crust. So it's sweet, but not too sweet. Just sweet enough, because the filling is sweet enough on its own. You know, paired up with some ice cream, absolutely wonderful. So it came right out. All right. And there you go, voila. All right, Adorners, so as you can see, our cooled pie, I'm slicing it up. I was actually trying to hold the camera on my phone and slice the pie at the same time. It came out so beautifully. I really, really loved having this pie. And you can see I'm trying to take it out with one hand. Anyway, all right, Adorners, so I plated this up. As you can see, here's our pie dish. So I think this was a successful retry. I'm so excited. No issues with the pie crust or it coming out. And I'm so excited. I really appreciate the opportunity for being on LA Try Guide. They were so lovely. His mom, his cousin, and he himself, they were all lovely. So I paired this sweet potato pie up with some vanilla ice cream. You can see the crispiness of the crust. And as I said, will go beautifully with a cup of coffee or for the fall. I do have, as I said, videos and a couple different videos on my YouTube channel if you're looking for a recipe. As always, saving hello, and I'll see you in the next video. See you in the next video. Would like to buy me a coffee, please scan the QR code on the screen. Thanks so much. See you in the next video. Saving hello.